Welcome back to another game of Damascus, and this is the quarterfinals match between Mako and Herzi. Mako is on 5-color Lone Survivor, and Herzi is on 4-color Mishka control. And Mako has a deck that's full of hate bears, which is probably pretty good against Herzi's spell-based control deck, but it seems like Mako hasn't drawn any hate bears in their opening hand. In fact, they have Betsy's Brood, which I'm not sure if there's actually a target for it in Herzi's deck. Well, anyways, Mako gets to turn 1-mana Dork, and they're going to play L here on turn 2 instead of Dovan's Masterwork. But I guess they didn't have anything to return. So they won't be able to flip L next turn, but they will be able to do that the turn after next turn. And Herzi draws some more removal. So Herzi has 2 confirmed hypotheses in hand, but no shifting lands to use it on. And I think they're just going to probably just wait. They'll sacrifice to start as a creature, but Mako doesn't really want to kill it with Betsy's Brood. And they draw another land. Not a very good draw for Mako because now they have nothing to do. Dovan's Masterwork doesn't do anything because he has nothing to return from the graveyard. I think Mako's just forced to play a land and pass. And Herzi's probably going to end of turn kill the L before Mako gets a chance to flip it next turn. Although I guess they can also just wait until next turn and kill it in response to flip to make Mako waste 5 mana. And yeah, Herzi's just going to pass, and they fail to draw a land. So that's not good for them. They even have to discard the hand size. And they discard Sacrifice to Sitar for some reason. Well, Mako draws another land too, so they're definitely going to try to flip L this turn, and that's going to backfire when Herzi uses Void Flare on L. Or alternatively, so maybe Mako flips L and then uses one of Valir's loyalty abilities, and then Herzi can confirm Hypothesis, the loyalty ability, but they're just going to kill L in response to the chosen one. And Herzi still fails to draw more lands, so that's very unfortunate for them. And Mako draws Maelstrom Elemental. Yeah, that's a really good draw for them. So they can play Maelstrom Elemental, but they don't have any follow-up to use with the Maelstrom Elemental. And Herzi can just cleanly answer the card with out-of-body experience. Alternatively, well, no, but one thing that Herzi could have done if they didn't kill Maelstrom Elemental is wait until next turn for Mako to cast something, and then Maelstrom Elemental triggers, and Herzi can copy the trigger with Confirmed Hypothesis. But that means that Herzi is going to be taking a lot of damage, so yeah, they'd rather just kill Maelstrom Elemental before Mako can do anything else with it. And Herzi still doesn't draw lands. And Mako draws Lone Survivor finally, which is really bad for Herzi because they don't have lands and now they can't even cast their spells because Lone Survivor exists. The Lone Survivor comes down and Herzi needs to draw a land here because otherwise they actually just can't cast stuff. Because Lone Survivor is making everything cost 1 more. Let's see, Herzi finally does draw a land, but it's a land that they can't confirm because Lone Survivor is making confirm cost 3 and they need to crack Wayfarer's Shrine. And Mako draws another Dovan's Masterwork. And actually, yeah, Herzi can't cast anything because Lone Survivor makes everything cost 1 more, and all of Herzi's spells either cost too much or don't have any targets. And Herzi tries to confirm here, but I don't think that works. Yeah. It looks like we're gonna have to get Judge Call, so yep. Okay, that's the Judge Call resolved. So Herzi can't confirm their Wayfarer's Shrine fetch, so they're just going to have to fetch basic normally. Is there anything Herzi can actually draw that would save them? I mean, they don't die right away, but everything costs 1 more. If they draw another land, then they can try to confirm it, I guess. I think right now they just need some way to prevent themselves from dying to Lone Survivor, so actually top decking Sacrifices to Sitar would be good here because it chumps Lone Survivor and also flips if it dies to the chump. Let's see what they draw. Another Wayfarer Shrine. That's not a horrible draw because now they actually get to confirm their Wayfarer Shrine. Problem is that they're really far behind on life right now. And they don't really have a good way to deal with Lone Survivor in hand, so I mean this turn they're going to have to confirm Hypothesis for 3 mana on Wayfarer Shrine, draw a card, fetch 2 lands. So they'll be at 5 mana next turn. I guess you just hope to find something that deals with Lone Survivor. So something like out-of-body experience would be pretty good for Herzi to draw. Okay, Thriving Budling. Mako can trigger the Augmented on Thriving Budling if they play out both the Bronze Masterworks this turn, I think. Not sure if they want to do that. Oh no, they definitely want to do that, because now they have to deal with Lone Survivor plus a 3-4 Budling. Oh no, it seems like Mako isn't going for Thriving Budling. Or maybe they're just planning on playing Thriving Budling last. What's Mako trying to do here? I guess they're just making sure that they're spending the right colors of mana to... Well, no, they're playing Betsy's Brood and probably killing their own Elemental. Or maybe killing their own Osk. I guess they're just trying to get more bodies on the board so that Herzi can't stop Mako with a single removal spell. They're gonna Betsy's Brood the Osk. That might be a... Okay, so Herzi can confirm Hypothesis the Betsy's Brood trigger to make it hit something else. That's actually quite interesting. Yeah, because confirm on Betsy's Brood, make it target Lone Survivor means that Betsy's Brood dies and also kills Osk with it. So yeah, playing out Betsy's Brood there was a really weird play, because again, they could have just played Thriving Budling, and I think they had enough colors. Yeah, they could have gotten to augmented on Thriving Budling that turn, which would have also left them with a 3-4, and one that wouldn't require them to kill their own creatures. Or they could have just played out Dovon's Masterwork first, so that Betsy's Brood doesn't have to eat one of their own Masterworks. They can just harmlessly bite the 0-4 plant. But Herzi decides to let Betsy's Brood resolve. They're not going to use Confirm Hypothesis to force Betsy's Brood to fight Lone Survivor. They'd rather just ramp with Confirm on Wayfarer Shrine end of turn. And Mako realizing that they have the wrong colors of mana to enable Augmented, I think. So they're just going to pass. So Herzi end of turn Confirm on Wayfarer Shrine. And they drop Pull Away. So that will deal with the Lone Survivor, but not with the Betsy's Brood. The Lone Survivor will make Pull Away cost 4, so I think Herzi just needs a top deck or Alibi experience here, or else they lose. They get Rastad's Command instead, which actually does work because they can Rastad's Command and then wipe the board. So yeah, Herzi plays Rastad's Command, choosing the first and third mode, which will wheel both players and then wipe the board, also allowing Herzi to ditch their hand of expensive spells that don't really do much. They still have 3 cards by coalescings that they don't really have any time to cast. Problem with Rastad's Command is that it also makes Mako drop up to 7. And Mako has way more mana than Herzi. In fact, when Mako draws Maelstrom Elemental from the Rastad's Command, then they can play it next turn and Herzi's dead. Unless Herzi top deck a white land plus an Alibi experience from the Rastad's Command. So let's see if they get it. Oh yeah, they do, because now they have Spire Climb plus Alibi experience. So let's see what Mako draws then. Oh, grade. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Herzi's dead. And then, yeah, Mako plays grade, which makes a bunch of hasted 1/1s, or 2/1s, because grade buffs them, and then Herzi has no way to answer that, so they just die. And then, so that's game 1, I guess. Look at sideboarding. Herzi definitely needs to bring in more removal. So our body is really good. Pull Away is also pretty decent. And past that, there isn't really that much good stuff for Herzi. I think they're just in an unfavorable matchup because of Mako's hate bears. Meanwhile, Mako probably wants to bring in more Summit Guardians and more Submergs because those things go through counters. Hegemony Monarch is also pretty decent because it eats graveyard and it's a big threat on its own. And then they probably just bring out the Betsy's Brood because they don't really hit anything in Herzi's deck. It seems like game 2 has already started. And Mako mulligans their first hand. It gets another hand with not much stuff, and so they have a 5-card hand with 1 land and some mana dorks. And I think they have to keep this. Actually, no, 2 lands because Grade's also a land. But yeah, they definitely keep this. But then the problem is, what do they bottom? And meanwhile, Herzi has a 7-card hand. They have turn 2 Confirm Hypothesis plus some removal spells, so that's really good for them. Oh, Mako actually bottoms Grade. Do they not realize that they can play as a land? I mean, now they're just banking on their Madorks not dying. Although they have 2 Madorks, so maybe I think that there's a good chance one of them survives. You're going to lead off on Thriving Budling, which is alright, but I don't think it's the right Madork to lead off on. Or maybe it is because right now Osk is more important to keep alive since it makes off-color mana. Thriving Budling right now only makes green because it only makes colors that you can already produce. So Herzi is going to keep up Confirm Hypothesis on Shifting Crag next turn. Mako top deck a land, so that's pretty good for them. Is Herzi going to confirm Mako's fetch? Probably not. They'd rather confirm their own fetch, right? Or are they confirming Mako's fetch? Yeah, I guess that makes sense because now they have a shifting Craig in play in case they draw another confirm later. Is Herzi still deciding what to target with confirm hypothesis? Okay, I guess Herzi targeted Mako's fetch with confirmed hypothesis. And they draw Sacrifices Satara, which is actually pretty decent because it's a creature, so it doesn't get taxed by the hate bears, and it does a decent job of trumping Mako's attackers. Anyways, so Herzi uses confirm to fetch out one of the Dominions, and down comes Fog Spewer, making everything cost 1 more. So Herzi draws Meteor Volley. Okay, that's really good, and they can actually cast it, right? Yeah, they have the right colors of mana to cast it right now. And that wipes Mako's board, along with their mana dork, so now Mako is set back on mana too, if that happens. Herzi deciding to play Plains. Maybe they'd rather play Shifting Canyon, because that means if they draw Confirm Hypothesis, then Confirm on a Shifting Land becomes live. But either way, it doesn't really matter too much. They play Meteor Volley and wipe the board, and now Mako's stuck with 2 5-drops in hand. Okay, Herzi draws Confirm Hypothesis. Now they have Confirm on a Shifting Land, and they can just pass the turn holding that up, plus removal spells on whatever Mako decides to play. Oh, they're going to run out Sacrifice the Sitar, which I guess makes sense. And I think they tapped incorrectly because they're... Oh no, they couldn't have tapped any other way, because they needed 3 specific colors of mana, but now they're tapped out of Confirmed Hypothesis on Shifting Land, which isn't a big problem, but still kind of annoying that they're tapped out of all of their mana colors. So Mako really needs to draw something here. Mouth from Elemental isn't it. Now they just pass the turn with 3 5-drops in hand. And Herzi draws another land. So now they can Void Flare their own Sacrifice to Sitar to transform it. Not sure if they'll do it, but that is an option. And Mishka does end the game in pretty short order. Herzi deciding what to do with all the options they're presented with. Well, either way, I think they just pass holding up Confirm Hypothesis. They're going to stack Fierce Spine now. Well, they're going to Void Flare their own Sacrifice to Sitar right now so that they can activate one of Mishka's loyalty abilities on their turn. So Sacrifice to Sitar dies, and Herzi gets the Surveil 3 and then draw a card. And then now Herzi's probably going to +2 Mishka on themselves because they only need a second Meteor Volley in hand. They're more than happy to see Mako stranded with even more 5-drops that they can't cast. I guess Herzi can also +1 Mishka to start making creatures, and oh, they're going to confirm the Mishka +1, which makes sense because illusions get bigger for each other illusion, so now it's 2/2/2 illusions that are going to be swinging in next turn. Or not even 2/2/2s, it's going to be 3/3/3s coming in next turn. And that puts Mako on a pretty fast clock. And actually, Cosmic Coalescing plus the illusions might just be lethal next turn. So Mako draws Mouth from Elemental off the top. A pretty sad hand for someone that's stuck on 3 lands. And Mako just concedes, knowing that they have no outs. So we'll be going to game 3 then. So Mako gets a hand that has a turn 2 Lone Survivor, which is a pretty big problem for Herzi. And Herzi gets a hand that doesn't have any early stuff. Okay, now they have a hand that has Void Flare. I think they're definitely going to keep this. I think they bombed Delph for treasures. Yeah, because Rastad's command can't be a board wipe if things go south. So Mako leads off with Thriving Budling. And Herzi is going to play a Shifting Crag. Okay, that might be a game-losing misplay, because if they Void Flare the Thriving Budling, then Mako wouldn't be able to turn 2 the Lone Survivor, but now Mako has turn 2 Lone Survivor. And I'm not sure what Herzi... Oh, right, Herzi has Pithfield, but they can't cast Pithfield this turn because Lone Survivor is making everything cost 1 more. Well, either ways, I think, yeah, Mako's going to... Or Herzi's going to crack the Shifting Crag now. And they top deck Albody. Okay, that's a really good top deck, because now they get to kill Lone Survivor. I think that's what they're going to do here. They're going to pass a turn holding up Albody experience on Lone Survivor. Mako draws Ask. Well, either way, the Lone Survivor is swinging in for 5, and I think Herzi's going to Albody the Lone Survivor right now, so they don't have to take the 5. Then now Mako gets free reign to drop something. Decide to drop L. And then I guess Thriving Budling probably plays an Ask. The Void Flare is probably going to be hitting L then. And I think the game's pretty even after that. Mako is going to play an island, and then play Osk. I feel like Mako should have played one of their fetch lands because they can fetch Lumbering Hillock soon. But then again, maybe they need to get to 5 colors for L. Well, either ways, so Mako draws Flawless World. Oh, do they not have... Yeah, they don't have any blue. That's actually a pretty big problem because they need blue mana to draw into more cards or to use Confirm. So cracking Canyon or shifting Canyon for Mountain Plains was the right play there because it allowed them to outbody, but now that means they can't confirm. And so Mako draws Foxbrewer, which is probably going to get removed by White Flare. Alternatively, Mako can also transform L this turn, but they can't play, or they can't transform L and then play Foxbrewer in the same turn. Whatever Mako does, I think Herzi is just going to answer with Void Flare. Mako is going to shock themselves with Timber Range and fetch out Rampant Summit. So are they going to flip L this turn? Yeah, it seems like it. So Herzi can either Void Flare or Pithwelt, and I think they might actually just... Well, Void Flare kills L, but Pithwelt might be able to kill Lone Survivor down the line, so they're just going to Void Flare L, even though Pithwelt spends their mana better. So now Herzi's probably hoping to draw a blue land. All the Highlands will fetch blue, so yeah, that's their blue land. And they're going to pass the turn holding up Confirm Hypothesis plus Pithwelt. Actually, if Mako plays a fetch land, I think Herzi's probably just going to copy with Confirm Hypothesis. Well, they're going to play Foxbrewer out first, and Herzi's probably going to Pithwelt that. Yeah, Herzi takes 1, and Mako plays a tapped fetch land. So Herzi can't Pithwelt the Foxbrewer right now, and that's what they're going to do. But that means they're getting less value from Rastad's Command's board wipe mode. They're going to fetch Ancient Dominion off Sunlit Highland. The next turn, they get to play Flawless World and draw 2 cards. And they draw another land, and that's a land that they can Confirm Hypothesis. But they don't have 2 blue sources, so they can't Flawless and Confirm in the same turn. So they're going to have to choose between these guys. Herzi is going to pass holding up Confirm Hypothesis, and Mako draws another land. I think now they kind of want to fetch Lumbering Hillock. Mako cracks the fetch. Is Herzi going to respond now? Yeah, they're going to copy the Amber Hills. And Mako doesn't fetch the Lumbering Hillock. They're fetching lands that they don't really need right now. Well, I mean, I guess they still don't have black yet, but okay, but now they're going to fetch Lumbering Hillock, right? No, they should have fetched Lumbering Hillock now because Lumbering Hillock comes into play tap, so the earlier you fetch it, the better you're off. Because fetching this guy first and then fetching Lumbering Hillock means you delay Lumbering Hillock attack for 1 turn. So Herzi has plenty of options now. Or not plenty of options, but they can play Flawless World and still have mana up. In fact, they can play Flawless World and then Rastad's Command, using the wheel plus one of the other modes. Or they can just Flawless World and then wait a bit and try to draw some more cards so that Rastad's Command is lethal. Either ways though, Herzi's pretty far ahead right now. They're going to play Sprawling Canyon right now, and then they're going to play Flawless World, drawing 2 cards, and there's Cosmic Coalescing. I think they're still probably better served just Rastad's Commanding here because they get to Rastad's Command for 6 if they use the wheel mode. Oh no, using wheel mode also makes Mako draw a new hand, which is bad because I think Herzi at this point kind of knows that Mako doesn't have anything good in hand because they would have played it already. And Herzi is going to pass holding up Cosmic Coalescing. Let's see what Mako draws. Or they're not even going to fetch with Timber Range beforehand. Okay, are they finally going to fetch Lumbering Hillock? Okay, yeah. 1 turn late, but better late than never. If they fetched Lumbering Hillock last turn, they could have attacked with it. Instead, they're just going to attack with the 1/1 Flyer, which Herzi's alright with taking. Now Herzi gets the Cosmic Coalescing for 2 end of turn if they want to. And that seems to be what they're going to do. 2 to face. Well, I guess, right, because Herzi is trying to get Mako into range for Rastad's Command. Does Herzi have something in the sideboard that they can get that would make Rastad's Command lethal on their next turn? Zadina. I don't think that exactly makes Rastad's Command lethal, but that definitely does make a lot of mana. They get sacrificed to Sitar. Actually, they can coalesce Flawless World right now, and I think that's what they're going to do first. They have enough mana to coalesce Flawless World and then also play Rastad's Command. I think they... Oh yeah, they do. Is that just lethal then? They draw 2 cards. So that's 3 cards drawn so far. And then playing with Dodge Command means that they wheel and draw 5 more cards. So that's 8 cards in total. And yeah, that's lethal. And Mako loses. Yeah, Mako just didn't draw that well this game. They didn't draw any of their 5 mana top end cards. All they drew were mana dorks, and then I guess an L that they failed to flip.